The Vocal Studio. Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our podcast series, Find Your Inner Voice. So today we will be talking about the voice itself, singing, and life around it. We are the vocal coaches from the Vocal Studio Singapore. My name is Bojana, and today we are having our coach Hydir. Hello, how are you?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm so happy to have you here today with us, sharing some insights for our podcast series this time. How have you been?
Great. I have been good. I hope you are doing the same.
Yeah, having a busy week. So far, so good. Alrighty. Thank you very much for taking part of this podcast today. So let us just introduce to our people who are watching us, our students. Today we will be talking about the foundation of our singing voice.
Yeah, our the foundation of our singing voice.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful topic. Thanks for choosing that. So, Hydir, tell me, you guys know Hydir, right? He's been with us for a while now, and he's the only male coach that we have in the studio at the moment, and we are very happy to have you. You have a lovely, beautiful voice. I still haven't taken any lessons with you, but that would be nice to try out, And I would like to hear you singing more often. You sing beautifully,
Thank you so much. I have not been to any of your classes. Yeah, I wish I would. I could. Maybe in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
You're amazing.
Coaches. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. Let's do that sometime. So back to foundation or singing voice, right? You have listed some singers that you want to talk about, and you mentioned about the singing voice and some elements of singing for our beginner students, right? Can you talk more about why you chose this subject, this topic today?
Okay, so today since we're covering about the foundation of our singing voice, I feel that it's always important for us, even for intermediate singers, for beginner singers as well, we need to understand how our voice work. Okay, and I have a couple of names over here, some prominent figures. Okay, we all love great singers. You can name it from 1930s or 40s up to the current times. We have Frank Sinatra, we have Ella Fitzgerald, right? Elvis Presley, the Beatles, Freddie Mercury. They all are great singers. And personally, I feel that why they are great is because they have a very strong foundation, and that is why we are covering it today. So
Yeah.
if you're a beginner singer, don't worry, because usually from what I always hear, even in my family or my friends, that kept on asking me like, how do you do that kind of voice? How do you sing like that? Are they singing correctly? So the topic that we're going to cover today will help you understand more how to become just like the great singers, because usually people think that it's impossible for them to sing. You know, people would think that they are born with that kind of voice. But even if you're born with that kind of voice, you still need to train,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't have that talent, but you can keep on training yourself and get used to that feeling of producing your voice. So how do you produce your voice, right? How do you produce your voice is, we'll get to it later, right?
Yeah. That's interesting. It's interesting, Hydir. Have just a question. I'm curious to know from you what you've been through. Have sometimes people asked you, hey, how do you sing? How do you produce your voice? Have you got this question from like family and friends?
Initially, when I started, I only just wanted to sing and start singing. I don't know what are the mistakes that I actually do. Uh, yeah, I mean, how do I produce my voice back then? I'm not too sure how. But as long as it sounds nice, it's on the key, it's on the pitch, then it will be good. But with that lack of information on how to produce my voice correctly, how to pinpoint the areas of of projecting your voice. I'm
Mhm.
not too sure, and there are a couple of mistakes that I did in the past.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because you have a very nice, beautiful, soulful voice that, and it sounds like you've been training your voice for a long time, I know that there is part of training for sure, but I know that it's your natural voice as well. So I'm sure that you might have been getting that question along the way, right?
Yes, my voice changes from when I was 13 years old up to 17, and then now 28. Okay, so
Yes.
15 years span. I take a look. I mean, it's very hard for us beginner singers or even intermediate singers to take a look at our videos, our past videos, right? Because we don't want to see how bad we were last time, how bad we
Yeah,
sound.
or
Mm,
even if we're very good, we are very conscious, right? So
mm,
that's another thing as well. So it's not easy for us to, but we have to know how we sound, and the only way to know it's when we hear ourselves, right?
mhm. Mhm. And to hear ourselves and to overcome that fear of listening to ourselves last time, because we don't want to face the reality of how we sound, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
the best.
sooner or later we will have to do it. Maybe if not
Mm.
sooner, then much later. So why not sooner, right?
Yes, yes.
So tell me more, Heidi, about the foundation or singing voice. This is our topic today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk why you've got friends Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, and you've got Ray Charles, Nat King Cole. You went through the era of jazz a little bit and soul music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting how you've got the Beatles here as well, and Michael Jackson, of course. Wow, Brian McKnight, beautiful. Mariah Carey, Adele, and Bruno Mars. Can you talk to us about these singers? What you know and what you think about their singing voices and the foundation of our singing voice through that, or however you wanna navigate this conversation.
Okay, so we have a lot of singers, okay, just like you listed down. Thank you so much for listing down all the names of the singers. And
Thank you.
stylistically, they are all different, right? They're all different stylistically. And how, when I say stylistically, it's what a mechanism that they use to shape the tone of their voice, the color of their voice.
Yeah,
Like if I were to take a comparison of two distinct sounds, okay, let's take maybe just soul jazz, where you produce more round tone and very clean voice, right? And if you were to sing a song that is in the rock genre, where it requires you to sing more distortedly, like like metallic
ah,
sound, yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, yeah,
rather than curbing sound like R&B,
yeah,
right? Those kind of tonal quality. So the difference is the stylistic difference. But
yeah,
what is the common thing that they have between these
yes,
two things? Before you even sing this rock song, or put that distortion sound in your voice, before you sing the curbing sound, you need to have a strong foundation in how you breathe, right?
yeah,
Like how you breathe, how you hold your note, how you exhale the note, expel the note, and create a nice tone and consistent quality to your voice. So how do you do that? So my advice for beginner singers who are listening to this podcast is to take a look at how your body reacts when you breathe, right? And what is the diaphragm and where is the diaphragm at?
mhm.
Because from one of my students, she asked me where is the diaphragm. She wasn't able to distinguish where the diaphragm is, even if I say the diaphragm is sitting in between the lungs and your abdomen, right? So
Yeah,
where
very,
is it?
yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
that's
see it
exactly
visually.
very accurate. Yeah,
Mm.
that she's attached as well on the sides as well. But what do you think, Heider, people would like to know? What do you think is important for people to know where the diaphragm is? Do you really believe that's important, or do you believe that when you exercise breathing
Mhm.
more, that's more important than knowing where the diaphragm is? What do you think?
Okay, I think that knowing where the diaphragm is will actually support your practical your
Okay,
practicality of producing your voice, because you get to feel it is one,
mhm,
but and knowing where to feel is another. So knowing where it is and doing it practically is two separate things which you can actually combine to enhance your knowledge in singing,
mhm,
to
mhm.
producing it. So theory to practice is very, very important in singing. I mean,
Yeah,
we can define it in words, right? But without practicing, you will not be able to feel it. So students will have to feel it on top of knowing what the diaphragm is and how it works.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm.
It's interesting. I think we people and students are different. You know, someone will be okay with just the movement itself, right? And
Mhm.
knowing that other students would just really like to have precise information, as you know, where is exactly the diaphragm physically, right? So that really depends on the student itself. But we are there to, you know, share and
Mm.
explain whatever we can so that they can get a better understanding, and not better understanding, the right understanding,
Yes.
right? Yeah, very good. What else? So you mentioned diaphragm and breath support
Mhm.
as the primary thing of our of the foundation of our singing voice, right?
Mhm.
So do you want to talk something more about it? Do you want to move to another element of the foundation for singing?
All right. So once students are practicing and are getting used to this production of your voice, your breath support, recognizing it, how hard you should put certain uh, intensity to make your voice strong, and when you're singing a range of notes, then that will require a different intensity in support of your diaphragm, right? So the
Mhm.
next thing that we're going to cover is the scales. Okay, because once you know and master this support and how to resonate your voice in your body, then we will sing scales. And why do we sing scales? That's a very, very big question.
Yeah, why
um,
do you think we sing scales?
right. Me previously, when I was a student, I always think that, okay, you are singing scales every day. Do re mi fa sol la ti do ti la sol fa mi re do mi so mi do, right? So why do they even do that? Okay, so that's a very big question for me as a student myself. So I would understand where all these beginner singers would always, ask teacher, why are we doing this kind of scales? They don't see the importance of it. So let me just tell you why it is important. So firstly, if you practice your skills every day, um, keep on listening to it and doing it physically, you can actually improve your pitch memory. Okay, your pitch memory will improve for major scales and minor scales. So we'll start with major first. So and also pitch accuracy, because all songs that we hear, almost all that we hear, are in different keys. Okay, each songs are in different keys depending on how you want to sing it in your range, right? So these songs are built or were composed from the scales of a major scale or a minor scale, right? So if you keep on practicing these scales in leaps or steps, then you might improve. You will improve. In fact, you will improve on the intervals, right? On the intervals and the memory, your muscle memory itself, without even hearing the chord progressions or just pitch a note, and then you will know where is the second and when is the third. So that actually helps you as a singer. When you transfer that practice into the song, it will improve your sense of intervals, pitch. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect. And what we can do with scales is we can customize the scales. We can do faster movements, slower movements. So there's a lot of
Mm.
other technical skills and elements from our singing voice that we can actually exercise through scales, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you are distinguishing. You're saying that it improves speech memory and pitch memory and pitch accuracy, and also the fact that the songs are composed in scales, which actually help us work a little bit more on our musicality, and therefore we'll be able to sing the songs better, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the
Mm-hmm.
practice scales.
And it's also important to practice slowly. So back again to beginner singers, okay? Don't worry, because before you even start singing all the major scales, I have some students, okay, just share my experience with some of my students. We started from singing just do re, right? Do re, because they don't really know how to go to the next interval. Do re mi fa sol la ti do. They were not able to sing the whole scale. So what I did as a for as their coach for the beginner students is just to cut it to do re and over again, two pitch scale for every key.
Mhm.
So that helps them to build their pitch memory for the second major. So gradually we'll increase it until the last, you know, do re mi fa sol la ti do. So they will have a bigger understanding of feeling about singing skills.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
other than that, if you practice blues skills too, it will also improve your riffs if you're singing different genres. Okay, genres like R&B, soul, or funk. You can improvise on these scales.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, every scale from every genre, respective genre has its own advantages. So more we do it, better we become. You know, if we say if we have to sing the blues, right? Why
Mhm.
would we warm up with a major scale or something like that? Then we have to like really get into the blues scales, and then we're gonna get our voice warmed up for that particular song. So therefore we'll do a blues scale, which if we're singing a blues song. Absolutely, I agree with that completely. And yeah, it's a good point that you just mentioned for our beginner students, even for us. You know, when you have a scale has 8 notes, right? Seven
Mhm.
plus one repetitive, but still 8 notes, right? So when we start singing the scale, it's not easy sometimes when you're in the beginning of the lesson to like immediately jump to right? Unless
Yeah,
you're very, very trained.
yeah,
So you really have to not scare the students, right? As you're saying, your approach is great. If you're doing that in lessons, I think that's amazing. That, you know, you just do it step by step, little by little,
mhm.
little by little, because people get scared. You know, sometimes their vocal cords like are not able to like hold you to what 8 notes in one round, right?
Yes.
So little baby steps will do. And as you're saying, slow practice is good, because then in the same time they're not only exercising their muscle memory, but
Mhm.
they're also exercising their pitch, you know. And there's a huge it's a good thing that you said that the slow practice, it's great.
Mhm.
There's a huge deal of learning when we are practicing things in a
Mhm.
slow manner.
Yes, and then also if you're practicing slow scales, right, like do, re, it also helps to build that muscle over here. Okay, especially as beginner singers who are still um, trying to master that vocal production technique into their skills. So that actually helps the student, the
Yeah.
beginner student.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Very good. So guys, scales, take a look at scales, ask us more questions when you're
Mhm.
in lessons, and we will be happy. There's plenty of variety of scales that can be sung in a variety of different ways that can help you enormously for your singing voice to improve
Mhm.
in many areas.
Mhm.
Okay, next thing that you mentioned, Hydir, was the rhythm, right? How about rhythm skills? How about why is rhythm important?
Okay, let me start with why rhythm is important. All the songs that we actually hear on nowadays, this is Spotify every day. I listen to Spotify every single day without fail.
Wonderful.
Okay, so what I notice is that all songs have a very, very strong and constant beat. So beat itself. Okay, let's change it. Before we even get to rhythm, so we need to sit on the beat. So what is beat? So if a student asks me what is beat, right? You need to listen to the pulse, just like your heartbeat. Okay, your heartbeat is beating in a constant pulse. Okay, even so, if it's slightly slower on a certain times, if you're running, then it will increase the beat, right? But um, my I wouldn't say philosophy, but like in life in general itself, we have our heartbeat, right? So if we are living our life in, say, we are asleep in the night and we wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and we have our breakfast at 10 p.m., 10 a.m., not 10 p.m., sorry, 10 a.m. And then we also have our lunch at 2 p.m. and then our dinner at 7. And then it can go on differently on different days sometimes. So the beat itself is your heartbeat, and you are just living the moment of your life within that heartbeat. It changes, right? How you wake up in the morning sometimes. When do you have your breakfast? Where do you have your lunch? Where do you have your dinner? Different timing. So that is the rhythm of your life. So if you transfer that into music, the beat is the underlying pulse of the music. You have to lay that
What
foundation.
drives, yeah, it's what drives the music, what keeps it moving. If there's no rhythm, there's no music, isn't it?
Yes, if you don't have rhythm, if you don't have beat, you don't have rhythm.
Yeah,
If you don't have rhythm, you don't have music. So
yeah.
always build that foundation first. Your beat, sit in the beat of the song,
Mm.
pa, pa, pa,
Mhm.
and then be free
That's a
in the
good thing.
rhythmic.
Yeah,
You
that's
can be free wherever foundation you have created, the beat foundation that you have created. You see?
So how would you what exercise? That's a good thing that you just mentioned now. If you have a song and then you're learning a song with a student, then you ask them to clap on the beat. That's one way, right?
Yeah.
To like follow. How would you? Any other practical tips or maybe a little exercise that you can share with us for our beginner students and for all of us, of course, for rhythm practice?
Okay, so for exercise, let's take a very, very simple exercise, a 4/4 count, 4 crotchets beat in a bar, okay? So how do you count 4/4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need to know the accentuation of, of the beat itself in order for you to lock and create the rhythm. So what is the accent? Where is that accent on the beat of 4/4, right? So if you clap 1, 2, 3, 4, and accentuate on the 1, you will start to feel the beat, the stronger pulse, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. So you will know, where is the foundation, where is the beginning beat of every bar, right?
Yeah.
So if we pay attention to that, then you will start to recognize where you can put the rest of the rhythm in the music, right?
And what do you think about what is what is the thing that makes you better in rhythm? What is it? Is there something that can what's the ingredient? Like what's the most important thing that one can do to improve their rhythm? What do you think that is?
Personally, I feel it takes time. Right? The ingredient in music is experience, and give yourself time. You need to have patience in listening, and also in dissecting uh, uh, a song. So if you listen to a song, if you're bobbing to a song, then you bob along with the song. But as singers, if you want to practice that, sing along with the singer. Listen to how the singer accentuate on their vowels and consonants. So firstly, the first stage is just listen to what the singers do and emulate what they do in their song.
Listening, emulating. Do you think I believe that rhythms are something that you have to practice a lot. Like that, this is what drummers do, right?
Yes.
More they practice, better they become. So we have to, rhythm is not something that you can just, if you have issues with rhythm, you have to practice the rhythm more often, right? If you don't, you cannot build that memory, and you cannot, you really have to practice. It's not like breathing. Breathing is something that we do
every day.
Every day, and after a while, the muscles we are getting used to. Of course, we have to practice, but rhythm is even. I believe rhythm even has to, have a lot more practice than breathing itself, right? Because breathing, yes, you do it, and then the muscles will remember it after a while. And after a while, you don't have to think about the way you're breathing and how you're processing the breath. If you're doing it the right way, it will happen. I mean, obviously, it's the same with rhythms, but if you don't practice the rhythms, especially if you have issues, if you're not very, if you're not very good in rhythms, and that's something that you have to work on, you really have to practice a little more.
Yeah, I have a student who is he was quite frustrated with his rhythmic skills. He wanted to go straight into rhythm, and because I said that rhythm is important. If you manage to go into rhythm, then you're halfway there, right? But he was quite frustrated, so I told him to be patient with yourself, because like you said, breathing is every day. You're doing it unconsciously. So rhythm is, you need to work on it. You need patience, and pay attention to the music. Keep on listening. So, and practicing.
We have a variety of different rhythms in the world, and how does this rhythm happen? They are practiced. They have to be practiced. Otherwise, it's hard, right? Unless you're very good in catching the rhythms, then you have to practice. But still, okay. So we talked about the singing voice and some elements of singing. So let us make like a recapitulate everything that we shared. So Hydir, today your topic was foundation of our singing voice. What you talked about was a variety of singers from the 30s to the 2000s. And then you mentioned that breathing is super important, first thing. And then we must know how our voice works. So that's the anatomy, right? We're not going to go into that now because the topic is very wide. Then scales and rhythm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So thanks very much for sharing your insights. If there's anything else that you would like to share and advise our beginner students, please feel free to share that with us now.
Okay, sure. Okay, so my advice for all the students, be patient. You know, even if you don't know where to start, right? Just start small. Don't get overwhelmed. Okay, start with the foundation of singing. And if you listen to all the great singers in the times of classical period, how do they even do that? Like opera, voice, blues singers, jazz singers, rock singers. Those are stylistic difference. So I drafted a quick
What's that?
table over here.
What does it say?
Right?
A little higher, a little higher.
Yeah, it says over here
Foundation of
foundation of
the
singing.
voice.
So this is the thing that we actually that we
We're
discussed,
covering.
right? So when we get this done, if this
and
is
we can
strong, you can
sleep.
explore all your styles. So it's all about singing all the genres from the blues, from the jazz, rock, and all the way up to the current times, and find your voice. So that's how you find your voice. Okay?
That's
It's all about
beautiful idea.
exploring.
Yeah, that's amazing. You should have shared this in the beginning, but that's amazing. Yeah, foundation of singing is first of all mastering your own singing voice purely as it is with the right technique, and afterwards you can choose the genres, etc., whatever you want to express yourself in or with. Then it's easy once you have the foundation. So guys, let's start with breathing. Let's carry on next to scales.
Yeah.
Let's go from scales to rhythm, and then slowly let's move to some to whatever we want to sing, or like sound like blues, rock, jazz, or whatever. Takes time, but it's a great and worth a journey to be able to use your voice in a way that you want to use it. And so you have to be patient. When you get to that stage, you'll be very happy with yourself, and obviously the confidence will grow, and there's a lot of other things that come to that together.
Yeah, yes. After all, singing is an art. You are supposed to be free. You should feel free when you sing. So that's how you feel your voice.
Yeah.
And I hope it has. Yep.
Yeah, sometimes when the students come and they really have so many questions, right? And then they want to do this and they want to do that. We are here to answer, but the answer does not give you the practical, doesn't go with the practical side of things. You really have to experience everything first, and you have to understand that time is what you need. So you really have to completely be relaxed in lesson, even if you're not doing things the right way. Just relax, follow your coach, and really take your time.
Yes, take your time. Be patient. Yeah.
Yes.
It's good that you have lots of questions in the class. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. That means that there's interest, but even if we answer all the questions, we really still have to hang on there and work step by step, so that we can actually, so our questions can be answered in our singing voice, right? Rather than, it takes time. Okay, thank you very much, Hydir. Thanks very much for sharing
information.
Thank
you very much, Bojana.
You're very welcome. Have a lovely day, and I hope you guys liked what you hear. We will be doing regular podcasts on another topic next week, and we will see you soon. Have a great weekend. Have a great day. Thanks again, Hydir, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.